Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are going to be talking about the power of branding and packaging. I'm so excited for today's video. I know that this is definitely a different style for my channel, but this is a topic that I have always found so fascinating that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, because if you are new here, a little background on me. Yes, I'm a beauty content creator and I've been heavily invested in the beauty space as a creator for a while. I mean, I've been heavily invested in beauty for my entire life, honestly. Before I was a creator, I have always been obsessed with the beauty industry, brands, trends, products. But on top of that, I studied marketing at the University of Wisconsin and I worked in merchandising at Target for 5 years. So I feel like I maybe have a little bit of a unique perspective on this topic, given all of those different elements of my background. So today we're going to be taking a look at some of the best and worst of the worst beauty brands when it comes to branding and packaging and marketing. And the reason why I think that this is so interesting is because the way that a brand promotes and packages their products really plays such a key role in defining the personality of a brand and defining consumer expectations. And because of that, can play such a huge role in the initial and ongoing success of that brand. And even though a lot of people probably don't realize it, there's a lot of psychology at play when it comes to the influence of packaging on purchasing decisions. And when you start to take a look at the most successful beauty brands of all time compared to the least successful brands, or even those brands that have had launches that completely flopped, you definitely start to notice some trends with packaging. So we're gonna be taking a look at some brands that have completely nailed this and really gotten it right, and then also on the flip side, did not nail it at all and really got it wrong. And then of course, while we're talking through everything, I will bring all of my perspectives into the conversation, not only as somebody who just loves beauty, but also as somebody who has a little bit of experience in the marketing and merchandising side of things. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's start off with the brand that really inspired this video. It's a newer brand that had so much potential to be successful, but really flopped when it launched. And in my opinion, packaging and branding was a major reason why. And that brand is R.E.M. Beauty by Ariana Grande. When I think of Ariana Grande, I think of somebody that is incredibly feminine. I feel like her persona has always been this mix of really sweet and innocent and girly and glam with like a sprinkle of sass. And her hair and makeup looks have always embodied that persona. She is known for her really high, sleek ponytails and her really glam yet girly makeup with the full lashes, the winged liner, and the nude lips. So when her brand was first announced, I think a lot of people were like, oh, this is gonna be good. And then when it launched, everyone was like, wait, what? This brand is giving a lot of different things. It's giving galactic, it's giving space aliens, it's giving rocket ships, but it's giving nothing that Ariana Grande represents to her fans. It just feels so bizarre and out of left field. And then on top of that, the packaging also feels kind of tacky. This brand launch was just not anywhere near as successful as it could have been, given how insanely famous Ariana Grande is. And I really think that this is why. When this brand launched, it just left people feeling confused and disinterested in the brand, because the brand persona does not match Ariana Grande's persona at all. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of that confusion and disinterest in the brand has just bled into product reviews. I feel like I have not heard anything positive about this brand. Overall, nobody seems to be enjoying their products, with the exception of their new concealer launch, the Sweetener Concealer. I've actually tried that and it's pretty dang good. But other than that, I feel like this brand overwhelmingly has not received positive reviews in any way, shape, or form. If they went with a more girly, glam, luxe, like higher quality feel aesthetic to the brand, I feel like this could have really been a hit. And they could have even stuck with like the up in the sky theme if that's what they really wanted, but switched to clouds and something that feels more dreamy and girly versus rocket ships. The next brand that I think totally missed the mark on packaging is also another new brand that is also a celebrity brand, and that is R.E.M. Beauty by Addison Rae. I'm obviously not in the target audience for R.E.M. Beauty. All of Addison Rae's fans are so much younger than me. They are really the target audience, so I totally understand that this was not necessarily supposed to speak to me personally, but even still, I feel like they could have done so much better with this branding. I feel like this brand has no clear identity. I mean, even with Ariana Grande's brand, the identity felt so strange for Ariana Grande, but at least there still was one and it was clear what they were trying to do, even if it flopped. With R.E.M. Beauty, I'm like, what is going on here? It just feels so random with all of these silver gradients paired with random colors that don't really mesh well, like orange and blue and purple. I actually don't even know if you could call this a gradient. I feel like they tried to make it a gradient and failed. And it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly why, but I feel like something about the combination of that weird looking gradient, the colors, the fonts, the shapes of these products, and the product types mixed all together just makes me feel like these products are going to be really poor quality. And I haven't tried anything from the brand, so I'm not actually saying that the products are bad quality. It's just that that's the vibe that this branding gives me just in looking at the products. And that's where I think branding is so powerful. If you can just look at something and be like, yeah, that looks cheap and kind of tacky. Yikes. Like, I feel like I'd find this brand at Claire's or Forever 21. And maybe that's what they were going for because of that younger target demographic, but then I think that just feels confusing to me because this brand is sold at Sephora. Like, this doesn't look like something to me that you would find at Sephora. And this, of course, is not me at all trying to shade Addison as a person or a brand owner. I just feel like she probably had literally no say in this packaging and it was just chosen for her. So with that being said, this is shade to the team that chose this branding for her. I feel like they could have done so much better. And also, this concealer looks like a pencil. I'm sorry. The next brand is a brand that was founded by 4 hairstylists in 2016 called IGK Hair Care. So to kind of set the tone for the brand, they have some key taglines on their website that I think really describe what they're trying to do here, including things like, we don't follow trends, we create them, and that this brand is hairstyling for the modern generation. I've tried several IGK products before and I've loved almost everything that I've tried from the brand. I think they have some amazing products, and I actually personally think that their packaging is really cool and unique and just fresh for the beauty industry. It does something totally different. However, in looking at the brand as a whole and all of these products together, I feel like this is just a little bit messy and confusing for consumers. And there's a couple reasons why I feel that way. Number one, all of the artwork and graphics that they use feel a bit all over the place because they don't have anything to do with hair or the product or even the title of the product. And then on top of that, a lot of the product titles feel confusing because they also don't have anything to do with hair or the product or the image on the package. For example, the Payday Instant Repair line that recently launched, which I did actually test and review in a viral products video that I will list below. This has really cool pink and purple and green. What would you even call this? Is this supposed to be like rocks? Like a geology theme here? I don't know for sure, but obviously has nothing to do with hair or the benefits of the products that you're going to be using, which I think could be fine by itself, but then you pair it with the title of the products, Payday. Payday has nothing to do with the image that you're seeing on the products or the benefits of the products or the product itself. And I think that just leaves people feeling confused. And there are tons of brands that use patterns and images on their products that have nothing to do with beauty, but it's clear in looking at the product what you're going to be getting. And I don't feel like you can easily look at these products sitting on a shelf and just understand what you're going to get from them. And then to take it one step further, on top of all of that, there's no continuity across product types. They're just all like this, but all very different from one another, which I think just makes the shopping experience even more confusing. So for example, their Mistress Hair Balm has completely different packaging from Payday. It's like this gold glitter, and the word Mistress just feels super random to me. And it's like, what does that have to do with a hair balm and this pattern? And then we have the Rich Kid Air Dry Styler with palm trees on the packaging. Again, it's like Rich Kid air drying your hair, palm trees. Also the Jet Lag Dry Shampoo with this like peachy colored crushed powder on the label. I mean, I guess powder for dry shampoo. There could be a link there, but still, I feel like I'm almost looking at clay with this peachy color. And Jet Lag, I don't know. And again, I actually think that this is really cool. So this isn't me saying I don't like it. I'm just trying to think about why this brand isn't as successful as I feel like it should be, given the quality of their products and given the fact that you can find them in Ulta. And I feel like this is probably a big reason why. And maybe I'm wrong, but when we live in a super, super fast-paced society where people have become so accustomed to instant gratification that they literally need it to function, and then you have a brand like this that does just take a little bit of time to process and figure out, I could see how this would be easily passed over in an Ulta store. If you're seeing all of these abstract images and all of these random product titles, and you're like, wait, what is this product? What's going on here? You know what I mean? I could see how someone would easily just walk away to the next brand where it's easier for them to figure out what they're getting. And that's a shame because IGK again has some awesome stuff. So I hope to see more of this brand in the future, but I feel like I almost never hear people talking about it. There's like one product I can think of that I've heard a few influencers talk about, but other than that, I feel like it's kind of crickets. Okay, the last brand that I want to talk about before we move on to brands that have just completely crushed branding is Bliss Skincare. And Bliss has been around for a long time, actually. I didn't even really know that, but they completely revamped their brand in 2018. Prior to that, the packaging was tough. Everything about it, from the colors to the fonts to the names of the products, just felt super outdated and not in like a cool 90s retro way, just like, oh no. So the 2018 rebrand was 100% necessary for this brand's survival. It was a really smart move on their part, and they use a lot of really bright, fun, colorful packaging. They have these iridescent letters. And as a whole, this definitely feels much more modern. However, this packaging also feels very youthful, and I would argue that this actually likely makes some consumers skeptical of the brand. When I put on my consumer hat and I'm walking through the drugstore and I see all of these skincare products that are bright pink and blue and purple and teal, my mind immediately thinks teenager. And whenever I get that impression from the brand, I immediately feel skeptical about its quality. As somebody who's 28 and wants effective skincare, when I feel like skincare is youthful and designed for teenagers, I feel like that's going to be a waste of my money because I'm not going to see results in the way that I need to in using them. That's just the feel that I get. Again, the vibe that packaging like this gives me. But I actually think Bliss makes some amazing skincare products. And even though their target market probably is younger than me, I don't think that this is a brand that is only for a younger audience. I think so many of their products have elevated formulas, amazing ingredients, and things that would work really well for all ages, especially given the fact that this is a drugstore brand. When I think about the products that I have tried from them, because I haven't tried anything, but the products that I have tried, I feel like so many of them are neck and neck with CeraVe. But because CeraVe has this almost medical aesthetic to their branding in terms of packaging and marketing and messaging, it feels more trustworthy than Bliss. It feels more trustworthy than something that is really bright and fun and playful, especially when you see both of them sitting on the shelf at the drugstore. Like if I knew nothing about these two brands and I just saw them sitting on the shelf, I would be like, dang, Bliss is way cuter, but I feel like I'll get better results with CeraVe, and that's probably more age appropriate for me. Okay, let's move on to a brand that initially had a ton of success. That brand is Glossier. They initially launched in 2014 and within a few short years became mega successful. Glossier stepped in the complete opposite direction from the direction the beauty industry was headed at that point in time. When you think about makeup in 2014, full coverage foundation, heavy makeup, intense dark smoky eye palettes, those types of products really dominated the industry, and Glossier was like, nope, we're gonna do something completely different and go for a more minimal, effortless, clean aesthetic, but with a youthful kind of cool girl spin that was really unique for that time. I feel like Glossier really paved the way for the clean girl trend that we are seeing all over the place right now. So while yes, the types of products that Glossier had to offer absolutely played a role in how successful it was, I feel like the packaging was right on the money. It really embodies everything that this brand stands for. It looks clean and simple, but at the same time, it's still very aesthetically pleasing. Like it's not like CeraVe, which is clean and simple, but medical and kind of sterile when you look at it. This still feels fresh and youthful. They have tons of products with the millennial pink color, which was crazy popular for several years, and a lot of other pale muted colors that, again, keep this feeling fresh without it being loud and over the top. So again, compare this to something like Bliss, there's a really big difference. And I feel like they really nailed it for the message they were trying to send to consumers. Glossier has such an interesting brand story, and they have definitely had quite a bit of a downfall in the last couple of years. So if you guys would be interested in a deep dive video on Glossier as a brand, let me know. I 100% would love to do that. I just think that this is very, very interesting to watch now that we've kind of made it to the other side of the brand. Next, we have Briogeo. So Briogeo is a hair care brand that is all about clean, natural ingredients. And you guys know how I feel about that, but we're not going to talk about that in today's video, because even if I don't agree with everything that the brand stands for, I actually love so many of their products, and I think they've done an amazing job with branding. Everything about this brand screams clean and natural. They have a lot of product lines that are centered around plant ingredients. Nothing's more natural than a plant, let's be honest. For example, they have a Mega Moisture line that promotes the use of avocado and kiwi, a Superfoods line that promotes the use of mango and cherry, a Be Gentle, Be Kind line that has banana and coconut. And this packaging is also genius because they utilize these clear bottles so that you can see what the actual product looks like inside. And I think that really goes along with the brand wanting to come off as clean, because it's like, see, look inside our bottles. You can see these look nice. There's nothing nasty in here. But on top of that, the packaging is also perfectly colored to match the food that that line is all about. And they smell so nice and fresh. Like, it really does smell like you're getting something clean, I'll be real. And even though they do have other product lines that aren't focused on literal plants, they still utilize imagery in their packaging that makes you feel like their products are natural. So if you look closely at the B logo on their products, you'll see that it includes things like leaves and flowers. They knew what they were doing over at Briogeo. They knew. So it's no surprise to me that this brand quickly rose in popularity right alongside the clean beauty movement. I feel like anyone that was into natural beauty ate this right up. And even though I am not obsessed with their clean beauty marketing, I still love their packaging. I think it's so aesthetically pleasing, and it's aesthetically pleasing in a way that doesn't feel too young for me. And again, I love a lot of their products. Let's talk about a few self-proclaimed clean makeup brands that have all seemed to take a very similar approach to branding. I can see clear differences between these brands, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of them kind of mesh together in my head, and I'm curious to know if any of you feel the same way about brands like Saie Beauty, Merit Beauty, and Rose Inc. Again, all of these brands definitely have slightly different personalities. I would not say that they are identical in terms of packaging, but I feel like their approach is so similar. All of their products look very simple and minimal, and they use very clean fonts, classic colors, and overall communicate exactly what I think they're trying to communicate with this packaging. Like, when I look at all of these products, I'm like, okay, yeah, these are clearly products meant for people who like really light, fresh, effortless makeup. Saie definitely feels the most playful and youthful out of the three brands because it incorporates a little bit more color with this light purple, and their font is a little bit more out there compared to Merit and Rose, but still, compared to other beauty brands, it's very toned down. And I know a lot of people die for brands like this. They're definitely super trendy right now, but I'll be honest, I don't always feel super inspired by brands like this. I'm sure part of that is also because I haven't been wowed by any products that I've really tried from these brands. I definitely haven't tried anything, but I feel like I just feel a little bit underwhelmed by everything that I have tried. I don't know. Something about this strategy to branding just doesn't do for me what I feel like it does for so many other people. Also, I was watching a Smoky Glow video, and she was saying that she saw a comment talking about how the Rose Inc packaging looks like a toilet, and I was like, oh man, that's really tough. Once you envision a toilet when you're looking at a makeup product, I don't think you can go back. Man. And finally, I thought we would end with a brand that I do feel so inspired by. Oh my God. I really did save the best for last. It is a brand called Vacation, and I actually did not know anything about this brand until very recently, but once it caught my eye, it caught my eye. Vacation is a sunscreen brand that claims to have the world's best smelling sunscreen, and they actually turned the fragrance that they have in their sunscreens into a perfume, which I think is genius, so I bought it, and it actually does smell so freaking good. Holy crap, that is like the perfect summertime scent that I actually still love spraying in colder months because it just makes me feel a little bit happier and sunnier, you know? But anyway, that is not why I'm most impressed with this brand. I am most impressed with this brand because of their branding. It is everything. This brand screams 80s vintage in the most glamorous way. Like, compared to the old school Bliss packaging, which was just sad and outdated, this is cool, vintage, retro. It's bold, it's eye-catching, and it's honestly a little bit sensual, which I normally am not into with beauty branding. I've talked about that before. I think that there are a lot of brands that try to utilize sexual terminology in their marketing and it just feels so tacky. This doesn't feel tacky. When I'm going through this website, I feel like I am reading a magazine and watching commercials from the 80s. It's so freaking cool. And the campaign that caught my eye the most recently that really made me dive down this rabbit hole of vacation is their new Classic Whip sunscreen. You guys, look at this. I am normally somebody that hates food-related beauty products. Like, typically that really turns me away from something, but that went out the window when I saw this. And yeah, I bought it immediately, obviously. It hasn't come in the mail yet, but I am so intrigued by this product. How could I not be? This marketing is so incredible. So I can't wait to see what this brand continues to do in the future because this inspires me. This makes me want to try their products. And I feel like there are a lot of other brands that could take, how do you say that? A card out of their playbook? What? A page out of their playbook. Oh my God, I swear I'm not stupid. There are a lot of other brands that could use vacation as a learning lesson, as some inspiration. All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap up this video here. Those are all the brands that I wanted to talk through today, but if you would like to see a second part to this video, let me know in the comments below. I would love to do that because there are so many other brands that I wanted to talk about that we just did not have the time for today. And if there are certain brands that you want me to include in that part too, let me know that in the comments as well. And if you enjoyed this style of video and you would like to see more commentary on beauty like this from me, let me know that in the comments as well. This is again something that I really, really love, so I would love to do more of that. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click on that notification bell and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for doing those things. Your support means the world. Thank you for watching this video and my videos in general. I freaking love you guys so much. And what else? Oh yeah, I'll be back in a few days. My next video will be up in a few days, but until then, I hope you have a great few days.